Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Pattsun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/Am I Wrong, where OP shows us a prime example of a man with self-respect. Let's begin. Am I wrong for throwing out my girlfriend at 2 a.m. after reading her messages to her ex? Posted by Reddit user ThrowRA Lost FW.
My ex-girlfriend of 3 months, friends for 2 years though, has recently reconnected with her ex. They have been texting as she is seeking closure. For the most part, their conversations has been her asking him about him cheating on her, and him finally being honest. On Friday, he called her at like 3 a.m. and they were on the phone until 8 a.m. This struck me as very weird, and so I did something I'm not proud of. I snooped at her phone. Only a single message was saved, as well as their last 24 hours worth of messages. All messages copy and pasted into my notes and then here. Sorry for the atrocious writing style. The one message saved was from her to him and it said, "I don't know what I want because I don't know if I can trust you, as you ain't showing me that I can. I don't want to fall in deep with you again if I'm just gonna get hurt and betrayed, and be even more traumatized than I already am. I need to see that you actually are changed, and I'm not gonna go through any of that again because I even let you slightly back in my life. And again, I'm the one sat here crying, not you. You have some hold and control over me because of how much I let you in, and it fucking hurts having constant reminder of your behavior. Tonight, I already know what you're doing and it makes me physically sick. Since I started talking to you again, I feel like I'm drowning. I have to get so pissed to have fun to be able to breathe for 2 seconds. Can't fucking eat because it makes me feel sick. You just don't get it." Then on to the actual crux of my post, the messages from the last day. Him, "I don't know how you can get mad at me for being friends with a girl when you have a boyfriend." Her, "I'm not mad at you being friends. I'm mad because you act clueless to the fact she wants to fuck you." Him, "I just don't think she does." Her, "Why?" Him, "Because she calls me when she's drunk all the time and she's never said anything like that." Him, "If a girl likes a guy and she calls him drunk at 3 a.m., then she'd at least make a sexual comment." Her, "I called you drunk last night and didn't tell you I wanted to fuck you." Him, "Exactly." Her, "Exactly, so just because a girl is drunk and wants to fuck you, don't mean she's going to say it." Him, "You wanted to fuck me." Her, "I always want to fuck you." Her, "You know, since we talk, I haven't had sex with him, so I don't want you sleeping with anyone tonight." Him, "I'm single." Her, "Well, you're supposed to be showing me that you actually serious about us, and if I cannot have sex in a relationship, you can do it when single." Him, "You don't even like sleeping with him anyway. You literally told me last night I'm the only person who can make you come." Her, "That has nothing to do with what I'm saying." And it goes on, but that's the part that's important. Upon reading that, I just lost it. I woke her up and told her to get out. She asked what was going on, but upon seeing her phone in my hand, she just asked if I was serious. I told her I am. She said she didn't have her car, it was raining, and she had no way to get home. I said it wasn't my problem. She said it was unsafe. I again said not my problem, she can get her ex to come pick her up. She said he's been drinking, and I told her I literally do not give a fuck, get the fuck out. She asked if she could wait indoors for the Uber, and I lost it. I just screamed at her to get out. She sort of flinched and then just got up, got dressed and left. I locked the door behind her. I laid there under my blanket trying to sleep for the rest of the night. I didn't check on her, I didn't care. Today I found out from a mutual friend that it took her 2 hours to get a lift and she was stood in the rain all that time, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Everyone is saying I'm classless and should have thought of her safety. I don't think I owe her a fucking thing. Am I wrong? Info. My flat is above a shop, with the exit to the door leading onto the street. There was no lobby area for her to wait in.
OP, she treated you like a tool to make her ex jealous, and the moment the ex gave her attention, you did nothing wrong, my dude. The amount of karma coming her way is going to be glorious. Her ex just wants to have sex with her, and once he does, he will ghost her and she will be at a loss. She will definitely come crawling back to you, so block her and move on. She's nothing but trash. Also, don't forget to forward the full exchange to every friend who called you an asshole over kicking her out. Show them who's the real classless one. And now for today's second story. Infidelity Reconciliation. Posted by Reddit user Jake Urban.
I posted this in a couple of other subs, but they seem pretty hostile. Wondering if I will get more balanced advice here or not. I would take advice for my spouse and me. I apologize if I repeat myself as it is a post and an update combined. The backstory. My wife of almost 13 years started a job working in the office of a manufacturing plant that employs degenerate men about 7 months ago. She enjoyed her job and still does, but her demeanor changed dramatically 4 to 5 months back. She withdrew, spent all her time playing games on her phone when in my company. Our son saw the change as well. We would spend time together and have an occasional date night, but something was off. About 2 months ago we had a date that went well, but she blew up afterwards and stopped talking to me for 6 days, and when I finally confronted her, she said she wanted a divorce. She had no desire to work on our relationship. I tried and tried, misguidedly. I asked if there was someone else and she adamantly denied, but it just didn't add up. I started reading books and Reddit which both pointed to another person. 4 weeks ago, I told her I was sorry for the past, but she needed to own up to her contribution to the degradation of our marriage. She said she was willing to reconcile and that we need to find a couples counselor. I found a counselor a few days later, and when I tried to reach my wife to set up a meeting, I ended up finding that she left her office to be with a man from her work. She has been having an affair. They began flirting at work and took things outside of work, texting at first nearly 4 months ago. She said they met to break up and were making out. The affair partner. He is an absolute loser. 6 DUIs, alcoholic wife beater, recently divorced, lives in his mom's basement. I pulled his court records, time in jail, court order AA and an ankle monitor, the whole works. She was like a schoolgirl with a crush and spent the first week defending him. She had been talking with his divorce attorney about filing against me. For context, her description of the affair was a work friendship talking about music and football that slowly evolved into an emotional affair, consisting of phone calls and Snapchat, where they spoke of past marriages and divorces and her current marital complaints. At some point they began sneaking away from work to meet. The emotional affair, of course, led to physical intimacy that was limited to holding hands and kissing during the last week and a half prior to discovery. I'm not saying I do 100%, but I have no reason not to believe her. She has told her parents a diminished version of the affair and no information regarding the affair partner. I was talking to someone and we kissed. Because of this they think that I am overreacting. This will definitely hinder reconciliation. Maybe I'm crazy, but I love my wife and don't want my family destroyed even if it isn't my fault. We are in the midst of what I would call a pseudo-reconciliation, where we actively enjoy each other's conversation and company, but seldom address the deeper issues. We have been seeing a counselor and this has been pretty good for a few weeks, but we still aren't talking about our relationship other than during our sessions once per week. Our pride, fear, and insecurities get in the way of the healthy conversation needed for actual reconciliation. But it is getting better. She invited some conversation recently, but ended up upsetting herself. Many users advised me to research affair fog and limerence. These two terms have put a definition to what I've felt and described to my wife for the past month. They have also helped me gain a better understanding of her mental state. My wife seems to be slowly coming out of the affair fog that has loomed over our relationship for the past few months. She did choose to be with this loser, but did not know of his history until presented with his court records, but was very defensive at first and still seems to resist that he is as flawed as the state says he is. I don't trust her yet and understand that it may be a long time. I think she struggles to comprehend this needing to be rebuilt. She is very attractive and has always held jobs in a professional setting and or surrounded by women. She now works in an environment conducive to an affair and is chum in the water to the laborers at her work. Even her male coworkers in the office are inappropriate in their comments and say no husbands allowed if they go out for drinks. She is the only woman who joins them. I've talked to her about going out for drinks and being accepting of their behavior as a boundary, and she has expressed a willingness to shut down the behavior and not go out after work. I don't know how to feel comfortable with her continuing at this place of work, maintaining the status quo that originally allowed for the affair. I know it is not the cause of the affair, her choice, but not helpful either. I'd like her to report herself to HR and deal with the consequences. I don't think her boss would tolerate adultery and would probably talk to her and talk to or fire the affair partner. I don't think she would be fired, but her boss or HR knowing would provide structure. As she commits more and more to our relationship, I set additional boundaries. She has made adjustments in her work interactions, but I have yet to ask or demand that she report herself or quit. A user made a comparison between regret and remorse which mirrored my thoughts regarding guilt versus shame. Early on she felt mainly external shame, but what she needs is the sense of guilt and remorse that comes from within. Expressing guilt and remorse is very difficult for her, as was ever being wrong or at fault in our relationship. She is reading some self-help books about being happy and letting go of the past grievances. A lot of self-work without the context of marriage or a relationship. It's something, but seems to me to be a little telling. She also struggles to prioritize this work over scrolling Facebook. She has expressed a willingness to talk to a counselor about her stuff, but is reluctant to see our marriage counselor privately as the counselor's focus is the relationship. I have spoken with a highly recommended divorce attorney and know my options and rights. I am prepared to walk away if needed. I struggled mentally for the first 4 weeks, but I have had many conversations with friends, family, and counselors and have read many books on the subject to somewhat come to terms with the situation I'm in. I'm a very sound, stable, and present father and continue to excel professionally. I have also reduced my enthusiasm towards reconciliation to better gauge her commitment. TLDR, wife had an affair, would like to reconcile, need advice.
OP, she didn't give a damn about the first set of boundaries. Why the hell would you think that she will respect the new ones? Your wife has been checked out for a long time. She is choosing to work in an environment where she is getting a lot of attention from men. Then she starts a full-blown affair with some sort of loser. My dude, you should have divorced her as soon as you found out, while she was still in the affair fog. Maybe that way you wouldn't get fucked too much in the divorce that will definitely happen in the near future. Good luck, you dummy. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.